in generally, like in Buddhism, bad guy is, kind of one who doesn't care for, anybody's life, anybody's feeling, anybody's situation, anybody's, kind of happiness or, kind of anything, and that they are more involved mentally, verbally, physically, very negative, just doesn't care, and whatever, just kind of want to slaughter, or want to tell lie, or want to cheat, or want to steal, and want to just do all sorts of kind of negative things, and in that way whatever is doing, just more or less, I think that sort of kind of one who have so much of negativity in their mind and so forth is not just only in Buddhism, I think even in other religions also, they think that is not appreciated. So, but then saying why they have good life, that is kind of very, very subtle thing. Because such, kind of like bad guys, in this life seems like, successful. And that is why I think people say bad guy has a good life. But that good to, kind of life or success is not because of their doing negative or being bad guy. It's because of their previous lifetime, what they have, accumulated some merit, what they have done many good things and, virtuous things. All those are the, kind of like cause, and that cause, ripen in this, kind of that bad, kind of action to get, kind of successful because they have some merit. So it is like, if some have enough money, that money can also use for, lots of good things, and also can use for lots of bad things. So similar, like, their, kind of merit ripen in this lifetime to, kind of have that success, and that is why it looks like they are, happy and successful and good and rich. But it is, kind of no matter whether that they believe in law of karma or not, but next lifetime, it is 100% sure they are going to bear all those consequences, whatever they have done, the negativity in this lifetime, that have definitely consequences or the karma ripening result, that there is no way, kind of get excuse of anything. And similarly, the good guys, those who, anyway, try to follow dharma and study and try to be, very decent, try to be honest and try to be nice and try to be, just really follow the dharma, but still they have, all sorts of problem, obstacle, difficulty, unhappiness. That is also same thing, that here they are just bearing this kind of suffering, problem, difficulty, sickness, and so forth, is of their past lifetimes negative karma. Those negative karmas are ripening in this to, kind of purify, to finish, to exhaust all those negative karma or negativity, whatever one might have done because of this, dharma practice, and because of, following the, kind of Buddha's teaching, and because of just try to be, kind of follow the righteousness. And that is why they are purifying their previous lifetime's negative karma, so that next lifetime they don't have to bear that, consequences or that, kind of result, anymore. So that is what it is, kind of explained in the Buddha's Sutra, that Dode Gongpa Nyende and Dode Lechaba, like all the sutra have explained very detailed, not only in this almost all the Wando, Namche Wando, law of karma, and then similarly like Longqing and so forth, in all this explained is why the good guys, try to be good, try to be virtuous, try to follow, why have still, so many obstacles, because of their past lifetimes, So that what it is, kind of the seed, negative there, because of practice, it is ripening, means it is, kind of exhausting. So that is why, like Padu Rinpoche says, that one guy who have, my life is so bad and always, so much obstacle and feeling sick, family problem. And then Rinpoche says, oh, that's good. Because now you are exhausting. You are all negative karma, it is good. That what, how, this present, existence of life, which looks like a, the good guy is supposed to be more successful and nice, and bad guy is supposed to happen something negative, but it looks like opposite, because it says whatever virtues one have done, not necessarily that consequences or result immediately can happen, even though there are some, which is kind of like a Tongju Nyungjur Gile, which means within this lifetime, somebody who is doing very negative, in this lifetime, bear so much, kind of suffering, that kind of. For example, like one Tibetan, kind of just a young guy, that he is very, kind of like careless and very negative, and his mama just got crazy. So he just kind of tie her there and don't give food and just kind of like scold. And all other families say, you should not do this, you should take care, but he never listened. And then, of course, mother died. Then after a few years later, he already, kind of experienced so much obstacle, so much problem, and so much, he got certain kind of sickness that he could not even just get at. Those kind of called, the consequences happen in this lifetime because of that, negative karma was very powerful. So the result, consequence also, kind of happen instantly. So that way, kind of, even somebody doing negative in this lifetime, people think he should be just, he or she should be, more suffering, but not happen, because that result not necessarily immediately happen. And some happen like that, as I mentioned. Some, kind of take, because this is result of karma taking time. Some are happen in this lifetime. Some are happening when oneself is dying. So much of good things or bad things. Some are happen in the next lifetime. Some karmas are very minor, so that is why I don't know when that karma might happen. So all these are explained very detailed in the sutra and in the commentaries.